All right, happy Monday rolling out. This is Crystal Jordan, and this is our back-to-back nights for reality check. So I hope you guys are here. I hope you're pulled up to your computer screens or your phone or however you're watching this broadcast. Get you a snack, and let's get ready to have some good conversation. We have our second guest from Ready to Love Miami is joining us tonight. And we started off our Ready to Love Miami journey with Calvin. Great conversation. But tonight, we have a sister in the house. Dominika is here holding down the lady. So please help me welcome the very beautiful Dominika.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Reality Check. Like I said, our audience loves Ready to Love. So
Okay.
that is what we love talking about. We talk about relationships all the time. Earlier tonight, we had Ryan Henry from Black Ink Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and that was cool. But they are really here for the love, the romance, the dating, and all the mess that often comes with Ready to
Yeah.
Love. But this is
Right.
this is early. We're early in the season. Early in the season. So you know what, Dominika, I'm going to start by asking you about what did you know about Ready to Love prior to joining this season?
Um, that it was the speed dating show because that's what
Okay.
I call it, speed dating.
Hmm.
I have saw all seasons, so I have been watching it. I'm not new to it. Yeah, that it was a competition. Let me say that a dating competition. I
Okay.
did know that.
Now, out of the others, like, what was your favorite season and why? So, because you're like one that knows. A lot of times people come on, they're like, "I've never seen the show. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know what it was," and I'll be like, "Really?
No, DC was my favorite.
Okay.
DC was my favorite.
Why was that your favorite?"
Um, I think people was really there authentic, and I'm all for that.
Hmm.
Um, they showed their true sides, and they didn't care about what somebody thought. They didn't care about what people said. Um, Afterwards, I kind of seen like, okay, a lot of stuff maybe wasn't, but during the recording and the show, I thought they were very authentic. I thought they were all there to love, to find love.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a whole kind of messy kind of situation for the most part.
Hmm.
Yeah, so DC was my favorite.
Do you have a favorite Ready to Love couple, or was there a couple on that show that you were really rooting for?
Now, Cliff, them is my favorite.
Okay.
They are. I'm sorry, my grandson just came in. Say hi.
Cute.
Okay, so now you have to leave because grandma's recording. Sorry.
He's so cute. No, we love it. We love when little ones come. Little ones, dogs, we love
Yeah. So
it.
he just came home from football practice with my son. So yeah, Clip them. I think that I am following both of them.
Okay.
Him and Joy, I think they have something amazing going on. I think they both was like had the same personality. They connected on so
Hmm.
so many levels.
Yeah.
For me, that would be a plus for me for that to be my husband
Yeah.
because I can be who I am, do what I want to do. You can be who you is. And I love everything about you. So for me, Cliff and Joy, out of all of the seasons, they
Hmm.
were like that real authentic, like is there.
Yeah. I like them too. I thought they were, and you're right. I think for me, it was clear when they saw each other, they were gonna be together. Like I know he was talking to Dakia, and there was some, probably talking,
Yeah.
but I just you could feel that energy when we saw them
That
together.
listen, when she gave him the coconut, and she
Yeah. Yeah.
and she was like, oh my God. And he
Yeah.
still was like, I want you.
Hmm.
That was it for me. That was
Yeah,
it.
that was funny because he was like, "Uh-oh." I mean, I was like, "Is he going to have to go to the emergency room?" But that proves when a man wants a woman, you can do whatever. He
Listen,
was
you can
coming.
when it's for you, it's for you. It ain't nothing can stop that.
Absolutely. Now, okay, so you've watched all the season. I asked you about the couple that you like. Any other couples before I go into the next question? Any other couples that you're rooting for from all the seasons?
So let me just tell you, I didn't start following people until
Mhm.
4 or 5. Like
Okay.
1 and 2, I saw 1, 2, and 3. I saw it,
Okay.
but like I wasn't. I have social media, but I'm not big on social media. So I'll stroll out, check it out. But I didn't think to even go follow these people. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I listen. This whole fan thing has took me to a whole nother
Oh, it's
level.
something serious. It's something serious. People become obsessed with people they meet on television through television to the point where they're like keeping up with their lives almost more than they're keeping up with their
And that wasn't me. So
own.
I can honestly tell you, I just like the show, watched
Yeah.
it, and if they show up on my feed, I'm like, okay, let me see what they up to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But
no,
other than that,
yeah.
no. I got you. I got you. That makes sense. So what about, I always ask people, when you saw the show before, were there any guys that you were thinking, wow, he would be a good fit for me? Like if I, because I'm assuming the reason that you would go on the show would be because you saw something before that might have convinced you, like, if somebody's on my season like him, that'll be a good fit for me.
I can't say that it was somebody. It's the
Hmm.
fact that people really found love from it.
Okay.
So let me say that. So
Okay.
like I know that it's possible, and that right there kind of made me say like it's not so scripted
Yeah.
either. Something about it has to be realistically going on, and you got to be able to really be your authentic self about it.
Right.
Because people ended up liking people. You
Yeah.
know, even the fact the Kia found her man afterwards is
Yeah.
a plus for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and I think he like his whole the way that he did the proposal thing, he really thought it out. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, I'm just talking to her because she was on TV and now she have a fan base. I didn't get it from that. And
Mhm.
so I'm not gonna say it was a particular person or couple. I'm gonna say the fact that people genuinely connected for
Mhm.
me was a plus for me.
Okay, I can feel that. Now, what do you think about the fact that a lot of people watch the show? I like I said, we talk about these shows every season. We go person by person, go through it. I actually do the recap with Kojo from Little Back Book, and we go through it, every season, kind of do recaps on it. Do you feel like the show is more really truly about finding love, or do you feel there's more of the competition aspect to it? Because I think that's what throws people off. Some people are looking for love, other people want to win the game, get popular, become an influencer and all that. So what was your outlook on that, and was it the same when you got there as what you thought?
No. So I, for one, didn't think it was a competition between the women. I
Okay.
didn't think it should happen. Let me say that.
Okay.
Honestly. Number two, there are conversations that people have that say like, man, I'm just here because this gonna blow me up something else, somewhere
Hmm.
else. So
Hmm.
those conversations are being held.
Okay.
And some of those conversations was held by people who actually end up made a connection. And so that's why I feel like you got to give people a chance because everybody brings a representative at first.
Hmm.
And it's just to fill you out or to see, because I can act like a total asshole to make you think that I'm an asshole, but genuinely I'm quiet. I'll
Hmm.
tell people all the time, I'm an introvert, extrovert person.
Okay.
I deal with who I deal with. I know a lot of people. I don't invite a lot of people to my house. You
Right.
understand? If
Right.
I have something, it's intimate. If you're there, you're on my favorite list in my call log because
Hmm.
I know 200 people don't mean that it's going to be 25 out of the 200.
Yeah.
And so when you first meet somebody, that's that person's representative. And everybody wants to say this and say this and say that and say this.
Hmm.
So the first time you meet somebody, a lot of people were saying a whole bunch of stuff like, I don't care if I don't make it to the end. I got my da da da. But then those are some of the people who end up make connections that
Yeah.
really fall in love with the person. And
Hmm.
so that's kind of what I took. But everybody's not there to, let me say this, not there to maybe meet their husband. You know what I mean? Maybe meet somebody that I could kick it with for a little while to see where it goes. I'm
Hmm.
actually looking for my person. So I
Okay.
was actually there hoping that my husband would be there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that everybody's there looking for their husband. But
Okay.
then there's those surprise instances where, damn, y'all really connected and I ain't see that coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my whole intake on it.
Okay. I agree with you and I think everybody is different and when they go into it, but I don't think a lot of people, some people probably don't even really believe. Like, it's one thing to say that I want my person. It's nothing to really believe that that's an option and that believe that can be out there for you. And I think for some people that don't believe yet, then they're coming looking at it just
Trying
to
to
have
figure
some
it
fun.
out.
Yeah, just to have some fun and see what happens and, be on TV.
Absolutely.
So what was your dating life like before the show? I always like to ask people that because I feel like going on a show like this is drastic, right? You're putting your business out there. First of all, some people like to stay in that ambiguous place where people don't know if they're
No.
single or not. They may have people that they're talking to, but they don't want them to know that they're looking for somebody else. So what was going on in Dominika's dating life prior?
January makes 6 years that I have been single.
Okay.
Let me say that. So I've dated. It's not like I haven't been on any dates. It's not like I had no Netflix and chill nights. I had those, but to be but to be in a relationship, I wasn't. So one of my friend guys that I do have a Netflix and chill night kind of with, I didn't tell him that I was going on the show. I don't really talk to people like that, so it wasn't a secret at all. But I didn't tell him. Okay. I didn't tell him till after my first green screen. And I sent him a picture, like, I'm sending you a picture to smile. And he's like, what's the occasion? Like, why you all made up and what you doing? And I was like, I want to tell you about this. And actually he was like, you better make it to the end that you ain't you better make it to the end that you ain't tell me whatever like that. So it wasn't the fact that he was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I root you on for everything. And I was like, it wasn't that I was hiding it because we're not even in a relationship. I just moved different. That's just how I chose to do it. I chose to get to the final list. I chose to go do my first green screen, see how I really like it. And then I knew it was real because I'm like, the mixer is in 2 days. So, and I don't know if my person is going to be there. And he know I'm kind of ready for a serious relationship. I'm very honest about that. And so I just went out on the edge and was like, this is what I'm doing. But he was very excited about it. He was like, you better make it to the end. And so I wasn't in a serious relationship. I date. If you call me, I will tell anybody I am going for food and drinks and I'm not going nowhere that I've already been. I live in Miami where people vacation. It's a whole lot to do. I ain't doing nothing twice. If I do it twice, I had to love it. So yeah, I date. I just haven't been in a serious relationship in the last 5 years.
Now, I wonder, like, when people have the Netflix and chill buddies or like people that they hang out with, is that somebody or the people that you were even meeting and dating? What was the problem to where they wouldn't be a good fit to move to the next level? Because I thought you were going to say that he was like, what about me? Like, are you, but what is that dynamic that this can't go anyplace else? And he's not trying, because most dudes, even if they really don't want, are going to feel like, wait a minute, just because it's an ego thing. Yeah. So what was it about that situation and maybe some of the other guys that you have dated that made them not, husband material for you?
So to be honest with you, I didn't want a serious relationship. It was not until last year that I said I was ready to settle down. So everybody I've dated before, I made it very, very clear that I don't want anything serious. I just love that we go on dates. We love each other's company. And so when I met him, that's how it was. He's just was somebody I connected more with. So it became more like a me and him type of thing, more than me and multiple people type of thing.
Okay.
And so when I first met him, my whole thing is he wasn't looking for anybody to be in a relationship with, and I wasn't either. And so our friendship or our connection just grew on that. But when I was ready, I did let him know. I said, I'm not forcing you to be in it because I want you to be ready. But let me tell you the place where I'm at. I'm ready now. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be actively dating. I'm going
Yeah.
to be do this. If I meet somebody, I'll be sure to let you know, like, we made this connection, we good. And that's just the respect that I had for him as a friendship, because I knew from the beginning, I told him I didn't want anything serious. But
Mm-hmm.
when I stopped feeling like, listen, okay, my time is up and I'm ready, I
Yeah.
let him know. And he would be like, even on the show, I had some awesome, I would call him and be like, you know what? If I make it, I'm gonna do this date with them. And he like, why you doing it with them? And I'm like, because it's a dating show and it'll be fun. And he'd be like, but man, you can do it. So he kind of
I knew it.
yeah.
I'm
So
telling
he
you.
kind of sort of was hating a little bit, but he didn't want to say he was hating. So he like, just plan it for this weekend. Like, we could do it. Like, why you want to do it with them? You don't even know them dudes like that. And so he hasn't said to me, like, I want you to be my girlfriend. But from that little thing of me being on the show and continue to talk to him, I kind of knew, like, yeah, nigga, you know what
Yeah.
time it is.
That's what I'm saying. See, I know he out. Monique King says good Netflix and chill buddies know their place. I guess, but I promise you, I knew that. I knew it. That's why I was like, it's cool that he said that, but he
Yeah,
gonna
no,
say
because I
something
would
else.
tell him like, "Oh, I thought I heard about this, and I hope they let me go on a date because this is what I'm gonna do with them on a date." And he like, "Why?" So yeah, he kind of like slipped it in to tell me like, "Don't get too comfortable,
He
but go
started
ahead,
feeling
I'm
some,
rooting you on."
he started feeling some kind of way. It's all
Yeah,
good. It's okay. Is in your mind, and I mean, I think that things can. There are several couples that have gotten together, or people that leave the show. They learn from the show, and then they go back, and it's some, they reconnect with someone. Is there any hope for Netflix and chill? Our Netflix and chill buddy. Is there any hope for him?
with anybody on my show.
No, with you. Is there any? Does he have any hope with you? Like, do you think that you could see him differently if he also was ready to be in a?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can. He's awesome. He does everything for me, but we're not in a relationship. Like, he cares about me. If I'm sick, he's gonna come
Hmm.
check on me. He's gonna make sure I have food. He's a introvert, which most men are for me because I'm both.
Yeah.
So if I want to chill at home and not do anything, he's fine with that. Or if I want to go out, he'll be like, I'm gonna go, but I know you like to stay. So I'm gonna drive. We're gonna go at the same time. I'm gonna drive. So if I'm ready to go before you ready to go, and
That's
I'm okay with that too.
yeah.
I'm okay with that. So yeah, I can see myself with him.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm rooting. We gonna get into Ready to Love, but I'm like, you know what? Because sometimes we're looking, and what is for us is right in front of our
It's
face.
right
So
there.
I'm just saying, Dominika, we'll circle back. We'll circle
Yeah.
back to him
We're gonna
later.
spin a block.
But seriously, and then too, like the compatibility, right? Because I think that when you're dating, it's like the person, you have to be compatible with them. You have to have physical attraction, and then there has to be some chemistry. So if they're good enough to be a Netflix and chill friend, and you guys have a good friendship, that's a lot to build on. So
Yeah, like we can sit and talk and we'll be like, oh shoot, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, I gotta be up at 7 for work. Like, talk about everything. And
yeah,
it's hard to have a great communication.
it is.
Um, I don't, some people will probably say, oh, because y'all friends. So he feel that comfortable with talking to you, or he feel open. I don't think that is that. We just kind of connect about everything. And because he's an introvert, and I'm like, you remember the store such and such, they closed down. He like, they closed down. So like, so
So
we
you're
have
his eyes
very,
and ears to the street, and he's but
yeah. So I'm his ears to the street because I'd be like, you heard that happen? He'd be like, no. So
hey,
yeah,
I'm just saying it could have been that he was right there all along. And sometimes we just got to do something else to figure it out. So you go on the show. Well, first of all, did you think to tell him, like, I'm I'm no longer in a position to just be, you know, hanging out. I would like something else. Do you think that
yeah.
that's something that you would want to do as well, or you just told him and then he didn't? He was just like, okay, cool.
Oh no, I didn't tell him that, this is what I want to do. So
Okay.
like, what we gonna do? Is it gonna be
Please,
us? Yeah. um
please.
no, I did not. And I honestly did not, because I respect the fact that when I met him, he told me from the beginning that he had been in a relationship. He just needed
Yeah.
some time just for him. So I respected that. And I didn't
Yeah.
want him in no relationship that I've ever had. I never forced a man to feel like they had to marry me,
Yeah.
or we've been together 5 years, I need a ring, or we've been
Right.
together 3 years, I need a ring. That's just not me. I've been told I should be more boisterous and I should put down more and I just
I think it's
don't.
cool if you tell a person how you feel, but not necessarily like you can't force anybody to do anything.
Yeah, because it's
Hey,
not, to
hip
me,
hop is
it's not
fire.
genuine. I want to allow him to be like, listen,
Yes.
you have been this person for me, and I'm just ready to take it to the. I want, because a man that finds a good wife finds a good thing. I
Mhm.
don't want to force it. I
Right.
don't want
No,
to
and you
force
should
it.
not. And you should not. And if he's listening, Mr. Netflix and chill, it's time to step up. Okay, getting back to Ready to Love. So you tell him after you've already gone. What happens when you get? What are you thinking when you get to the mixer? We want to know what is your first. What were like your first thoughts? Because that has to be a little overwhelming. If you're dating, cool, but all these people, there's some really great looking men. There's some beautiful women. Everybody has on swimsuits. Y'all came ready to
Listen,
show what it was.
when they told us our first outfit was a swimsuit, everybody was like, "What?" So we just gonna be out there, and it
Yeah,
was like, it's the best way to do it.
y'all were
Get
out
out
there.
there first.
Y'all were out there.
Yeah.
Y'all were out there. So what's going on in your head when you get to this mixer?
So you probably gonna crack up laughing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I walk in there, I'm looking at my talent producer and I said, I gotta pee. I've been sitting in this car. I can't do it. And it was like, we gonna count you down. You gotta get the wine or the apple cider. You gotta go around and introduce yourself. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, y'all don't know me. When I say I got to go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. And so, because I know there was a system going on how they wanted to bring us in. They didn't bring everybody in at the same time.
Okay.
I didn't know. Like, I kind of figured out from the women, because we were all secluded area together. And the men was, but I didn't know what to expect from the men. So when I walk in, it's still a lot of people not in there, because it was 10 and 10.
Okay.
20 of us. At that point, we might have been on the 6th or 7th woman and man.
Okay.
So I go around and I introduce myself. And to be honest with you, it wasn't a lot of cameras. Like, I was expecting when I walked through the door for a camera to be like, boom.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said they did really good with making us feel comfortable, because the camera was boom, but the camera was over there, boom. So you didn't have the whole thing like, oh shit, I gotta smile. Oh
Right.
shit, I gotta do this. I gotta watch my facial expression. I
Mm-hmm.
really walked in a room like I was at a party that somebody invited me to, and I was looking for that person who invited me. That's what the feeling was like. Like, I'm trying to find out my spot where I'm gonna sit at first, who it looked like I want to talk to first.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, there were a couple people like already chit-chatting, mingling, eating fruit and everything of that sort. So I just was trying to look around and figure out the first person that looks approachable, for one, because everybody don't look approachable,
Right.
and get back around so I could get unmiked to go to the bathroom and then start over again.
So that first run, your mind wasn't
It
in it.
don't count.
Okay. Okay. And that's a good point. Like, some people look approachable and some don't, because I would assume that would be the case for both the women and the men. Like, a friendly face or a warm, somebody that seems like they're warm would be the first place to go. Who did you speak to first with the women? Who did you feel, who did you kind of connect with as far as like them seeming like they were approachable and friendly with the women, and then we'll go to the men.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, it was April.
Okay.
Approached me first, and I was like, "Hi," and I went to shake my hand. She was like, "No, I don't shake hands. I hug." I was like, "Oh my God, me too." So, I think April was the first one to be like, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome. What you up to?" And for the men, I want to say it was Samson. I want to say it was Samson, the first guy that was really, really approachable, really like, hey, get something to drink. It's party time. Let's go, from what I remember. But who I attracted to, like stuck with, and still to this day is Katie, and Kay is my girl.
Okay.
Like, we hang out together, we enjoy each other. And the crazy part is, we were like that from day one. And I had never, ever met her before, but just like our chemistry connected, like most of the scenes I'm in it with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the scenes I'm in it with her, we just connected. We had the same vibes. And when people were saying something, we was like, wait, what? You know, like what? Trinika was very energy, and she was just like, I love your energy. So that's what I'm saying. Like there was a couple of people there, and you would think that you know, some women would be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to her, or I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
but there were a couple of people was just like, girl, I love you. What we gonna do? We hang out. Brandy was another one. Brandy
Nice.
came in as herself
Okay.
in the beginning, and just was amazing. But Kay is my girl.
That's your girl. Okay.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
We'll ask you a little bit more about that later. But what about the guys? Like, who were you initially? Who did you see? Because I feel like women, you know, men will probably look at a room full of women and be like, I want to hit them all. I like everything. Women, we can enjoy stuff, but there's always one that we see that's like our type. That's more my speed. That's my vibe right there. Did you see anybody that you were initially attracted to just physically when you first looked in the room?
Physically attracted was Mike.
Okay.
But he wasn't there when I first got there.
Okay. So when you first got there?
When I first got there, I'm trying to remember. It was in April. So I'm trying to remember who was there when I first got there. Maybe Alonzo.
Okay.
Was there. Alonzo was there. Very cool, very debonair, you know. And so yeah, I would have to say Alonzo, because I didn't see Justice. I didn't see him at first. He was off in a cut somewhere. I don't know where. But Alonzo was the first person when I walked under to get my drink. Alonzo was the first person to see me in the corner, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hi, handsome. How are you?" So I want to say physically first when I got there, it was Alonzo.
Okay, and then your type would definitely be Mike.
Physical,
right? Duly noted. Well, let's talk about that, because that's the thing. Like a lot of times, what we see and what we want, it may be two different things. Once
and guess what? Tommy said that he said it at the first meeting. He was like, "Don't be looking.
Yeah,
might not be it."
He said y'all need to put love before lust, and you know,
absolutely,
lust is what we just like. Okay, but it's nice when they work out together.
Right. Right. It is, so, but when they don't,
they often do not. Yeah. They often do not. So talk about the conversations, and how did you kind of figure out, okay, this may be what the physical that I like, but not necessarily, we don't necessarily vibe like that.
He was not welcoming.
Okay.
Yeah, he was not welcoming. I felt like the conversation that we had was forced. The first comment he said to me when he got there, I was like, "Oh, hey, where you came from?" You know, like when you walked in, because once you start the party, we didn't see when people were coming in. They kind of like walked up on you, and you like, "Oh, you here? Like, who are you? Where you came from?" And I was like, "Hey, where you came from? You just got here." And he was like, I don't know if I introduced who I was or said something, and he was like, "Yeah, I know, I heard you." Like,
okay.
What? Okay. So I said, okay, maybe he agitated because it was a long day. It was a long day. It really was. So I said, okay, I know some people, and I think I even said it in one of the group things with Tommy, like some people need to get comfortable in their skin. It takes people longer too. So I was willing to and I still went and had the conversation with him about his parenting and the kids and, you know, the divorce, how do they co-parent. I still really was like trying to peel him back a little bit and have him open up a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, like, after seeing his interview about me, I kind of sort of wonder, did he know something about me prior to being there?
Yeah.
Because he was real, like, and for someone that's from Miami, to be like that with somebody that's originally from Miami, I didn't know him until afterwards, which you will hear more about that at the reunion. I didn't know who he was. So in the fact that we graduated the same year and we talked about grad night, and that he kind of opened up a little bit about, because I went into, you know, his high school for grad night and what happened at grad night, because we went the same night. He kind of laughed. That's probably where you see me laughing with him at.
Yeah.
Whatever. He ends up kind of like opening up a little bit to me, but I felt the whole time that it was forced.
Okay.
And at that point, I just was like, let me back up.
Yeah.
Like, I like his appearance, but he ain't feeling me, and I ain't forcing him to feel me. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But how did you feel when you saw because I'm sure you didn't, I mean, obviously this happened, you guys filmed in April. You don't see that after until that confession and, him having that conversation until after.
I didn't see it till the day before the show. They said,
Wow.
well, to be honest, I saw him say a little because they do send us clips every week that we can repost on social media, but they don't go into depth like that. So I did see a little synopsis of it that I can say.
Okay.
And even at that point, I was like, okay, because I knew he wasn't feeling me. I ain't even deny you about that.
Yeah.
But then when I saw how he went in,
yeah,
I was like,
it felt personal. It felt a little personal.
It felt personal, and I started to think, like, did he know me before? Like,
yeah.
Did I used to talk to his homeboy?
Right.
Or he tried to holler at me in high school and I ain't holler back at him and he still got grudge against me?
That does happen. That does happen.
Yeah. When I tell you, like, I knew he wasn't feeling me.
Yeah.
But the way he made me feel, especially being that you're from Miami and I'm from Miami, I think we should have been at least rooting for each other, even if we didn't like each other.
Right.
But for you to say, like, you see it all the time, and then I'm questioning, like, damn, was I really that bad? And then you're digging somebody who had the same personality I had. And that made me question it even deeper.
Because you talking about Brandy?
Yeah. Okay. You was feeling somebody from the jump who had the same personality I had. We were doing the same thing at the Mister. We were enjoying ourselves. I even said on one of the green screens, like, Kay and Brandy would be somebody that I hang out with after the show because I felt like we connected on so many levels. Yeah. So I replayed all of that in my head, even prior to me seeing his green screen and everything that he said. And when he said it on the green screen, like, his whole facial expression was like nah.
Yeah, like, it did seem as though there was more to that than we knew, right? The audience.
Yeah.
What happened? What in the world did she do to him?
What happened? To this day, I do not know. Because like I said, I didn't know him. I'm not following him on social media. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot about him now after the fact. Right. But I didn't know that before. And if he knew something about me, I didn't know that he knew it because we never had an encounter together. Right. But he did not like me from the beginning.
Yikes. Okay. No. So that was a bad one. Who was feeling you from the beginning? People are asking in the chat to ask about Justice. Of course, the sweat wiping on Justice. What was that interaction like? Were you feeling him? Were you attracted to him?
No, I was not attracted to him. I was attracted to our conversation. Okay. We had a very personal conversation. I don't know if they showed the part, but I'll say it. Like, he was raised by his mom and his grandmother. Mm-hmm. His mom raised his oldest child. I raised my oldest grandson because my son was away in college. And so we had a lot of things that we connected on personally. Okay. And that's why that connection came with me and Justice, where we felt like we knew each other from the beginning because we talked about some personal things and I could relate to him and he could relate to me. Mm-hmm. So at the mixer, he was one of those people that I had a deep conversation with. Like, really got to know him, really got to know his upbringing, about his kids, how he loved his nana, his grandma. And so that's where that connection came from me and Justice.
Okay. That's fair. So when you were talking to him, because one of the things that we were talking about in the recap, from the conversations that we saw, he seemed kind of all over the place. Like, I don't want to spend money on a woman. I'm not spending a lot of money to date somebody. Like, it was a lot going on just in the edits that we saw. So it sounds like you had a conversation with him where you actually felt a connection and you didn't get that same vibe.
No.
Do you see what I'm talking? Like, have you seen when the clips?
Yeah, no. I didn't get that vibe from him. We talked about how he loved to travel and do different things. I didn't get that, like, I don't want to spend money on you kind of thing. And I didn't get that because when I saw him sit, I was like, he said that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I didn't get that feel from him.
Okay.
at all when we were talking, and he actually kind of came and grabbed me. He was like, I've been watching you for a while and I haven't spoken to you. And where he was sitting at, I said, I didn't even know this area was over here. So he
Yeah.
had been watching me, work the room and talk to people. And I was just like, tell me about yourself. You have children, what are you doing? And he went back from his childhood until his adulthood.
Okay.
Very engaging conversation, very good vibe. I felt good energy from him. So the fact that he said that, I didn't
it just kind of went left because the first day everybody liked him, right?
yeah.
Like every woman was like mentioned, almost all the women mentioned Justice as someone they were interested in. And then the next few episodes we saw him really just kind of go a different direction. So I was almost like that, like, why did he pivot and switch up? But it's good to hear that you
Yeah,
had
I had a very good intriguing conversation with him. So when he said it, I'm like, I think my face even was like that when he said it on that clip. I was on the couch with him. I was like,
what is you talking about?
Yeah, like what is going at or whatever. Another thing too was that he was kind of like had pride in himself, if that makes sense. I don't want to say like
Cocky?
into himself or cocky or whatever, but like he came across like when I walked in the room, like I know my pants creased. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I got on Gucci shoes, kind of sort of. And so there was a conversation being had that wasn't aired. I'm not gonna get into details, but like somebody was like, well, how long it take you to get dressed? So that's just to show you what kind of person that people start seeing him as what kind of person people start seeing him as
when the women were introduced to him.
When the brunch came. You know what I mean? Because I think once you dressed up before you went your bathing suit, your swim trunks, everybody having a good time. But the next day you show up, you got on your button-up shirt, you got your belt, you got your crease in, and now it's like, so let's get down to who you really are and what you really do and what you really about. And so I think that's what happened to him in the second season, is that he came off kind of cocky, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He came across like that, but I didn't get that. And I don't like cocky men at all. I don't like it at all. So, but that's how I think that kind of shifted.
Yeah. And we never know what, until we talk to them, we never know what else happened.
Right.
So was there anyone else that caught your eye from physicality or from conversation besides the two of them?
So,
because we saw you having a conversation. You came over to have a conversation with Randall. So was that because you were attracted to him, or you wanted to get to kind of hear more from him?
I wanted to hear more from him. It wasn't attraction from him, but when I did talk to him, even at the mixer, even and they didn't show this part too. He made me very, very feel very good, because he was like, listen, you don't owe it to ask nobody that. Like, you showed up, you're being you, you continue being you. If it's the connection, it's the connection. If not, you still beautiful. Like, I enjoyed the conversation that me and you had last night. So he was the only one that I really talked to that was just like, listen, you're a great person. So, and I had somebody say, well, he said you was a homegirl. Maybe he's younger than me. I could be his big sister. I'm 42 years old. So it was okay to say that. But I had a very, very excellent conversation. And he was one of the young ones where I said, like, that changed my mind about even dating somebody young, because he was able to have a conversation with me. I got him. He made me feel comfortable, when he was talking to me. And he was like, man, forget all of that. It don't matter. Like,
now he was talking about the fact that you were in the bottom the night. He was talking to kind of make you feel better after being in the bottom.
That was at the brunch. That was at the brunch. But that mixer, we had like a great conversation too. We talked about history and all kind of stuff like that. And then so when I asked him, he was one of the ones to say, listen, you don't worry about it. Everybody else was like, I don't know who said what, and I don't know fuck about. I don't know why they did it. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
It wasn't nobody, right?
No, it wasn't nobody. But I went home and I was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I even said to them, like, I'm not asking so I can judge you on it. I'm just trying to see what I need to do to step my game up. Like, what happened?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So of course, we got to pivot to the ladies. I do want to know what did you think when you saw afterwards? But I want to play this clip with the Randall and the Cherie situation. And I want you to tell me how you felt after you saw, after you watched with the rest of us and saw this clip.
No, you're not.
Is her name Dominika?
That is her.
Is that her stage name? Let me stop.
So you're a grandma?
I am.
That's crazy. I would have never thought that.
Don't say that, because everybody I've been talking to said, "Oh my God, don't say that."
We could try to coach her into quiet it down a little bit and closing her legs, fixing her hair.
No, I couldn't.
I have dated women who are opposite of me, totally loud. But it just depends on the situation. And Dominika is more like the homeboy.
I think we should give her a chance.
I'm giving a man a chance. I'm not giving a woman a chance.
Charisse? I thought I was a bitch. Going back and telling Dominika what she said.
That's my favorite part. Kayla, like, did she come back and tell you what Cherie said?
No. No.
It made for good TV. It made
for good TV. She probably had intentions, but remember, I went home.
You went home really quickly.
Yeah.
So what did you think? First of all, did you know that conversation had happened? Were you aware of that at all?
Hell no. Okay. So let's start here. She noticed everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that. I couldn't even tell you what shoes she had on that day. I remembered her bathing suit after I saw the clip, because I wouldn't have never even remembered from that night, because I wasn't there to judge a woman. I wasn't there looking for a woman. I don't like women. Mm-hmm. It's just not something that I'm into, but I can compliment. I can say that you're beautiful.
Right.
You know, I can tell you that. But to say that every time I touched my hair, you knew every time I touched my hair. That particular thing, she did not hear me across the damn pool, because we were across the pool from each other. Yeah. So I'm Mike, and of course it's gonna make it sound like I get to show they props, but they railroad me. Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. I enjoyed the moment. I'll do it again, but they railroad me, because at that particular time, you even made it sound like I was really loud.
Yeah,
that wasn't happening. Okay, that's number one. Dominika has too many syllables, number two. So that wouldn't have been my stage name. I would have been Mocha. I would have been Godiva, expensive chocolate, something like that. It wouldn't have been Dominika to be a stage name.
Point taken. I didn't even think about that, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, and out of all things, you made me a stripper. Out of all things, that's what.
Did you get bad energy from her? Like, could you tell she wasn't feeling you, or what did you think about her when you first?
The one thing that I can say is she, and I don't know who she was talking to, but they were one of the first people when I walked in the room that were sitting almost by the door. Mm-hmm. She didn't get up to greet me like the other ladies did. She just was basically like, hey, like one of those hey kind of things, and then going back to the conversation. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you that I was ever in a group setting with her to have a conversation with her. So I don't know if cattiness is just her, or is she a sweetheart? I don't know her like that. Mm-hmm. I know when I did get eliminated after my exit interview, she and Samson was like one of the last people waiting to go back to our cars or whatever. She rolled back with me. And she was like, well, I'll see you at the reunion, and you really left like a lady, She did say that kind of sort of, but that was it. I can say that there were some things that happened after the mixer that both of us was in the bottom that I didn't really care from. Like, it went 100 all the way. I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Now I'm lost. So, because you guys both were in the bottom, right? Do you think that her energy was like that because she saw you as the competition? Like, where did that
had to be? I didn't want to think that, but the more and more I see the clip, and the more and more I try to play back in my mind, like, why was I your target? Like, why your eye was on me? Mm-hmm. I kind of sort of feel like maybe I was that competition for her. I mean, she's 43, I'm 42. Majority of the girls are in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? April is the only other one that's 46. You know what I mean?
Right.
I came, I was the life of the party. I had a whole bunch of energy. I mean, but that's not her personality. She comes and she comes settled. We had two different personalities, meaning that whoever wanted you was gonna want you, and whoever wanted me was gonna want me. But the fact in it I'm still like shocked that all of that went on about me.
Yeah.
Like stripper, that's what you came up with, and I thought it was a joke. It was a joke kind of thing. I wouldn't have never looked at her and said that. I don't look at other Black women. I don't look at women, period, and say, you a stripper? I might be like, you weird as fuck, but I won't say you a stripper. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even the fact of her thinking that I was loud, maybe I was loud for her, but I wasn't the only one loud. And hopefully that comes out too when you do other interviews, because other people was like, all of us was like that. We was drinking, like we have been drinking all day, so we all were having a good time. You know what I mean? So why I was the target, I don't know. A production told her to make me the target. I don't know. It's the craziest thing for me. Like I've gotten people that probably be like, girl, that she was like whatever, but to say like I'm a stripper and I need to close my legs, like when did I have my legs open? I don't even remember. I replayed it, and like I went back and forth with, should I address it and talk about it, because it's really not my character, and to be honest, I really don't care. I didn't lose sleep behind it, but like as a woman to another woman, like come on, like you got to do better than that. And people want to say like, oh my God, they made her seem like, no, we were mic'd from the beginning. That part of it, you can't change. You cannot change what you said. And maybe there was a conversation in the group, because like I said from the beginning, people don't talk to themselves. It takes multiple people to talk. But if somebody's being catty and you're not responding, they're going to stop it. She continued. She continued.
She did, but I will say on behalf of the other ladies, nobody else was egging her on. So that is the one thing that I did like.
That's what we saw.
Okay, well, damn.
That's what we saw, and I respect that. That's what we saw. We saw that nobody else egged her on, but she went from me being loud, opening my legs, until I was a stripper. Somebody gave her something, because had somebody said like Kayla was the only one they showed to be like, girl, what? Like, give her a chance. I didn't even know how that conversation, to me, they cut that up too. Because who are you to give me a chance? You ain't voting for me. When we go in the circle with Tommy, we're talking about men. We're not talking about women.
That's true.
So
well, maybe
giving me a chance came from.
Yeah, maybe she just been as far as like to be cool. Because, as opposed to like writing her, making assumptions. I don't know. It was
I don't know either. And I've been revisiting it for like, I revisit that 1,000 times, and I have not came up with
and what the heck that was. So did you guys have words afterwards? Did she apologize? Did you?
She has since called me since the show aired.
Okay.
She did say that she apologized the way that it came across, and there were more conversation. She told me out her own mouth that there was more of conversation the producers cut out to make it look as if she was being malicious towards me, and that wasn't what she was doing. And I honestly told her, I said, I appreciate you calling me. Like that's big draws. Like I appreciate you picking up the phone and calling me.
Yeah.
Stripper.
I'm like, you took the high route. Some people wouldn't even have been open to the conversation, because it did look and sound very negative. But
it did.
I applaud you for being the bigger person and taking the apology and even giving her the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of women would not have done that.
Well, let me say this. I'm not gonna say I appreciate her calling me. That's what I'll say. Okay. I appreciate her picking up the phone and at least calling, because some people would have been like, I don't care what she think. Like I ain't gotta. You understand what I'm saying? So that part of it, I appreciate her doing. And
Okay.
I said it to her. I said, I appreciate you picking up the phone and even calling, saying like, that is not what I meant. That's not how I said it. That's not how it went. They cut it out.
Right.
Whatever. What I do know, and she even said, like, it was like 1:00 in the morning. We were drinking. For me, a drunk mouth speaketh over mine. That's why I said I'm not gonna give it too much credit, but I appreciate her calling me. And I can honestly tell her that face to face, like,
yeah,
I was your target. I don't know why. Stripper and Dominika wouldn't have been my stripper name.
like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Like
you
wanted, I would have expected for you to say, like, where the hell her mama get the name from? And it's a country, by the way. So Dominika is a country. So
it is a sexy name, though. I think
it had to grow on me a long time, because as a little girl, I'm like, when I get older, how people gonna be saying Miss Dominika?
That would be a big name for a 6 or 7-year-old to be walking around with. But later, I think it's kind of a sexy name.
Yeah, it's like stripper,
not stripper. I don't know. That was unfortunate, but
that was way left for me. So I don't want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I've rewatched that first episode so many times.
Yeah.
And the more and more I watch it, I get agitated about it. The way that they
well, I'm sorry for playing it again. I did not.
No, that's what I'm here for. I didn't tell you that.
I know, but I'm just saying, I didn't want you to be upset, but I did think that was a crazy scene for somebody, for that to happen to somebody in the beginning. How did you feel when you and Sharice were in the bottom on the first night? How did you feel then? Did you have any idea what happened?
No. I was like, the bottom? Why? Right. You know what I mean? And so the next day when the producers called and was like, how did I feel? I was like, first of all, how did this go? Because that's what I wanted to know. Because I didn't know who made the decision.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't know. I didn't know how the decision making happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of giving a synopsis of it, like they take a poll.
Okay.
Did I kind of believe that? No. But I can tell you, and I know you've heard this from other cast members, we don't make that call. Yeah. Like Tommy comes out and he talks to us and he get our feedback. It's the people in the back make that call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Marriott says, when she asked the men why she was in the bottom two, what did they say? And you said earlier people were like, I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody deflected except Randall told her just to do her and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Randall was like, listen, that happened. That's over. Let's move forward. Like, let's keep going because you good. Like, I enjoy talking to you. That's what he kept saying. But let's just move forward. Everybody else was not. It wasn't me. I don't know. It wasn't me. I mean, I know who it was because people talk and I hear things.
Well, who was it? We want to know.
Y'all got to watch the reunion.
Oh man, we are a long way off. So you feel like it was one person that it
was one cheerleader.
Okay.
It was one cheerleader. And I think what the heavy part of it was, well, it's two cheerleaders. Let me say that Mike wasn't the only one. They put the camera on Mike a lot. Maybe because he's from Miami, he already said, like, I'm from the crib and I don't want da-da-da-da. So it made it easier to put it on Mike.
And then he had a very distinct reaction to you
all the time,
which would make it make sense, right?
Make it make sense. So it would make it make sense for them to make it seem like it was Mike.
Yeah.
That I know it wasn't.
Okay.
Besides the two cheerleaders, like, yeah, she gotta go. Maybe the producers hearing like the homegirl vibe or whatever, they probably really thought I wouldn't have made a connection. So that probably had a lot to do with it too. Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised to see April go as well?
I don't know that April went.
Okay. Okay. We're just gonna ignore that. Okay. All right.
I was the first woman to leave. So I don't know how that lineup go as far as who leaves next. And I have to watch it.
You have to watch along with the rest of us.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, I guess did you have any predictions? Like, who do you think? Was there any, like Clifton and Joy, to me, that first day, and even some of the other cast members said, the time they hooked up, you could tell they were just good, right? Did you see anybody else that you think is gonna be, that you would say, okay, I think they would look cute together, I think they'll be cute together?
I did.
Okay.
Gotta watch the reunion.
Oh man. Come on.
Yes. I made that connection. I made that connection from day one.
You called it. Okay.
I told them from day one. They was like both like, like, ew. I made that connection.
Okay.
And you're gonna see who it is. You're gonna know because we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it.
All right. So we'll just know that
it's close.
It's not close, but we'll know when we see that cut. When we see, then you will say, okay, that's what Dominika was talking about.
Yes, I made that connection from day one. Day one, I knew that they would be so perfect together from day one, and they both was in denial from day one. They both were in denial from day one, but
because I'm saying, I honestly, and I know this can't be who you're talking about because of the relation, but I think that Brandy and Mike are cute together. I like them together.
I haven't seen them together.
Okay. So
I don't know.
I like them.
You're not by yourself. A couple of people have said that. I haven't, and I love Brandy to death, so I'll go anywhere with Brandy. I'm not going anywhere with Mike and Brandy.
So I knew that's not who you were talking about, because I was like, I think they could be cute together.
I wouldn't know if I'm not going anywhere that Brandy and Mike is going. Brandy can invite me to her hometown, Tennessee. I'm flying. We out. We can hang out. We could go to brunch together. But anything that has something to do with her and Mike, I'm sorry. The way that he hit me, no.
That's fair.
And I'm not against their relationship. I am totally for love. Yeah. I totally hope it work out. But I haven't seen them interact together, so I don't know if they look cute together.
I'm just going off of what we've seen so far.
Oh yeah.
Because initially you just never know. You just never know. We saw Justice had a lot of different connections, but I don't know. But I did think that those two, I liked them on the beginning when I first, their first interaction seemed flirty and cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess it's kind of hard to ask you, did you learn anything from this process, because it was very short, but did you, besides the fact that we think that you need to give Netflix and chill guy another chance and try to figure it out with him, did you learn anything, or can you take anything from that little brief situation and back into your dating life?
A young man isn't that bad to date.
Okay. So how much younger is Randall?
A lot. I think Randall was 33. I'm 42.
Okay. But sometimes it is mature.
Now that's a bit young.
It is.
That's a bit young. But me going into it saying I want somebody 42 or older, that has changed. Like 36, 37. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay, because some people at 36 and 37 got their shit together.
This is true.
And as when I went into the process, I wasn't thinking like that though.
And as we know, as women of a particular age, a lot of times men in their 40s do not have their stuff together.
Far from it.
So sometimes it's like, what have you been doing?
What? These 48 and 49 years. What do you have? What? I should not be having this conversation with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially the ones that's been married before.
Yeah.
I should not be having this conversation with you.
This is true. But age is not always indicative of maturity.
It's not, but I have to be honest. When I went, I was like, listen, I want an older guy. And a lot of it had something to do with like their stability in life. You know what I mean? Because I'm ready to travel, passport. You
Mhm.
know, my co-host Ki always tells me we start finding ourselves at 34. Flavor. He say men find themselves at 34. Shit start getting real at 34. We
Shoot,
start.
some men are not finding it at 34. That's a I don't know about that.
He seems to believe, and I've had conversations with more than him, and they say 34, 35 is where you start saying, like, I gotta get my shit together. You know what I mean? Like
35 definitely, maybe 35 more. I don't know, 35 and up, but 40 seems a good age for men to be like, if he don't have it together by 40, he may not get it back together.
yeah, because at this time you want a caregiver. In a minute, you gonna be in some shit. Listen, you want me to get you when you get at your weakest? No,
Yeah.
I need you up, ready to, So
you done gave out all the good years to all the hoes.
Yeah.
And now you want me to take
That's
care
the turn off for me. The men that have older kids and been married before, and I'm still having this conversation with you, like, was you on a damn rock when all this was going on? Like, come on.
Yeah.
We should not be having this conversation. So that's the one thing that I can say. Shout out to the younger guys on the show. Y'all changed my mind about dating younger.
That's good though. So it did make you open up a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It really did. It made me open up to, as far as just being vulnerable again. Because I had put myself in a, like, I'm finna find me. I'm finna do me. I was one of them people, like, who goes to the movies by yourself and who does this? And I have opened up a whole lot. I've learned a whole lot by myself. So it gave me it opened me up a little bit to be more like, okay, let's try something different. Instead of when I came out of it and ready to love, I'm like, I want an older guy. I don't need him with no little babies because I don't want no baby mama dramas. I ain't got time for it. I want the drop off and the pick off to be already set. The weekends are already set because I don't want to plan a trip and you tell me you got to get the baby this weekend. No.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of my saying that I wanted somebody older. I wanted somebody older, but the younger guys, they have their stuff together. They have, and even
some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them. Yeah, and some of
them, yes. Majority more than none.
Yeah.
Pretty much had some stuff going on for themselves and had an outlook on life. Even if it hadn't got started yet, you know where you go. And you ain't saying that like I think I want to be a rapper, but I said in the studio yesterday.
You can't do that after a certain, I don't even know what that age limit is.
Yeah, so
the window is very small.
It was none of that. It was absolutely none of that. It was like people had their stuff together. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I set out to be. This is what I want from this. And that was really good.
I'm glad that you did get something, because that's good. That opened you up a little bit. Okay, so what I initially meant to ask, because you guys were saved from the first elimination, but Sean went home, right? So we saw that he was I think he called himself a walking red flag, and he was saying that he wanted a woman that had a passport. It was a lot of things that he wanted and expected from a woman. Did you have a chance to talk to him at all? You didn't. Okay. What about Calvin? Did you talk to Calvin at all?
I did talk to Calvin. Calvin was very smooth and collective.
Yeah.
But he was there for like 30 minutes. Like, literally.
Yeah. And then he had to leave.
Yeah. Like, when he came in, his aura was very, very good. A gentleman looked you in your eyes when he talked to you. I did get a chance to talk to him though.
Okay.
But the time was very short with Calvin. It was like, I talked to him, went somewhere, talked to somebody else, and then it was like he had to go. Like, damn, already? Yeah. So no, I did get a chance to talk to him though.
I hope he gets a chance to come back on another season, because we talked to him last week. He gave a great interview. Seemed like a very good guy. Were you attracted to that did that conversation leave an impression on you at all?
Yeah, I love for men to look me in my eyes when they talking to me. And he looked me in my eyes the whole time. We didn't get too deep into details because he was one of the ones that came at the end. So at this point, everybody is just like moving. But very calm, cool, had a great energy. Look you in your eye. He was like, "Oh, your glass is empty. Let me give you another one." Kind of watched.
Were you attracted to him physically?
No,
Okay.
no.
Got it. Well, you are in a good place. How has it been with the response and people, commenting on your time on the show? What has that been like?
Listen, don't come over here. Okay. I'm sorry. Um, Crazy.
Yeah.
It has. I have had people that I don't know from Adam E. Never met. I never imagined that I would have fans. People have been like pouring out to me. The fact that people felt my energy just from being on the show, how people protected me, how people rooted for me and wanted to fight for me, and it has like been mind blowing. I didn't know, like they kind of told us like, oh, things are gonna really change for you when this get over. And I'm like, nah, you just go, I'm gonna go back to being a mom and a grandma and trying to find my husband. That's it. But no, like the outpouring, people inboxing me. I opened back up my Twitter because I couldn't figure out Twitter a long time ago. I had too much stuff going on. So I opened back up my Twitter. I had like a one-on-one with a friend of mine. Like, this what you do. And like people literally was like, why did, like, you don't even seem like a woman who would have signed up for something like that. Like, I watched all the shows. I didn't think it was something bad to be on. You know, it's just like that one.
That's weird, but everyone's perception is different. Yeah.
I didn't when I watched the show, I didn't think like, I would never go on there. Like, I didn't think that.
Yeah.
And so for people to say it, like, why would you go on there? Like, your substance of a woman don't even mix with. Yes, like people.
You never know.
Listen, like all of them, all the men were lames and they didn't know what they was getting into. And I'm just like, calm down. Like, thank you. I'm just trying to be nice and respond back to everything. But the aftermath has been nothing that I expected, but everything that I appreciate.
That's nice. It's encouraging to hear that people really like were defensive of you, because we don't like to see. It's great that other women are not championing mean girl behavior. And I hope that Sharice did not mean it that way, but it's good to see that the way it came off was not something that most viewers are in support of.
Yeah, no, people are angry. And I'm not out. I've never gotten to that point about the whole situation, because I'm just like, she don't know me. She don't know me. So she has she can feel how she want to feel. It's not going to change the way anybody else perceive me. As you can see, people who don't even know me personally, like my family, my mom is furious. She's still furious. She called me. I stopped by her house today. I was like, Mom, I got to go get ready for an interview. And she was like, oh, I'm just so mad. So my family, my friends, furious. But to see people who don't know the real me, who've never met to be like, where she at kind of thing. I'm like, it wasn't, y'all, come on now. Yeah. So like I said, unexpected but very appreciative. Very appreciative of everyone that has reached out to me. People like, where you watching it at? Because I want to watch it with you. Like, outpouring is an understatement. And I'm I'm very grateful.
Any guys in your DM shooting their shot?
Yeah, but basically like talking about how lame the men was. And I'm like, they weren't lame. I was the homegirl. I mean, we can't get mad because
for that one.
But
I said just for Randall. Randall said that, but that wasn't necessarily what everybody else said. We don't know. We'll find out as the season goes along. But it's great. Your attitude is great. And I love that. And I love that, like I said, you got something from it, even though it was a short experience. That's positive. And you probably already had your person anyway. So you probably already did. So,
Probably so.
Well, we thank you so much for hanging out with us today and for, sharing your experience. I definitely am. I'm still trying to figure out which couple you're talking about, but it's still so early to know because we know this show can go like, it can look like things are going one way and then.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's the twist. It's the
Yeah.
twist. It's the
Yeah.
plot twist.
I'm sure it's gonna
It's a
be
plot twist. But afterwards, once you find out, invite all three of us on, and so we can talk about it because it's a funny story, like a really funny story.
I definitely will. That sounds cool. We'll definitely have to do that. That'll be a lot of fun. Well,
Yeah.
thank you again for hanging out. We wish you much success, and you have to come back and tell us what happens with this Netflix and chill guy.
I will.
Because I'm seriously saying, I think just because he had that reaction, sometimes if both of you guys did not want to be in a relationship initially, and then you had a change of heart, you don't know, he might have had a change of heart as well. And the fact that he was like, oh, you and I can go there, that means he didn't want Netflix and chill anymore. He wanted to go out on a date.
Yeah. No, we go out on dates. We go out on dates. We're not just Netflix and chill. We go out to dinner. We go to lounges. So we go out on dates. It's just that one particular date that I wanted to do was kind of sort of intimate. Maybe he was thinking, and like, why you want to do it with them? Because you don't even know them.
Well, I think you should do that with him. And then I think you should come back and tell us how it
I will. I'll tell you that I did that date with Netflix and chill.
Yes.
Let me tell you how when it was amazing. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, serious.
I'm going to be like, girl, no. I should have did it with somebody from the show.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a blessed week, and we will definitely be watching. And towards the end, I will definitely reach out so we can get you to come back on.
Absolutely. And I'll be back. I had an amazing time. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
You guys follow me on She Is Dominika. I'll be posting if we're going to have a watch party. Come out, shake hands with us. You would love the cast. Everybody's amazing, friendly, open. So follow us. Follow me. Keep watching. It's going to get really, really good. I don't know who goes home first, second, but I do know some ins and out of it. So
we'll definitely check in. I definitely think this season is going to be good. I think it's going to be one of the best seasons because I was a fan of Atlanta because, of course, that's where it started.
Right.
I'm so happy for Dakia getting engaged.
Yes.
She deserves it. She's amazing. And Camille and Cornelius are together from the first DC season, and I'm super excited about them. They, everybody,
and they're still, regardless of the backlash, because they had a lot of backlash. They still doing their thing.
They are. They're actually coming to an event that I'm hosting in October, and everybody's love story is different. Everybody is different, but I love the fact that they're like, hey, it doesn't matter what
they didn't care. They was just like, eliminate the both of us so we could get on with our lives.
And that's real. I respect that because that's real.
Yeah.
Camille knew that was her man.
From the first.
Yes.
I'm always in Atlanta too because I have a cousin that lived there. So if I'm in the area, I'm gonna hit you up.
Definitely, we could come. You come in and because I had Aisha come to my radio show. We sat down. We could chop it up. Have you actually in? Zoom is cool, but in person is all. And then we could talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, the juicy stuff, the real juicy stuff. I'm always in Atlanta. My daughter graduated from Clark Atlanta University.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
You have a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl, 21 and 24.
Nice. Okay, I have a boy and a girl too. Awesome. Yeah. I think you get the best of both worlds.
The best of both worlds because they are 2 totally different children.
Mine are too.
So I gotta be 2 different mamas.
But it's cool though because one's a boy and one's a girl. So I have like the boy, the situation with the boy and then the situation with my daughter, and it's like. I think if it was 2 girls, I'd probably be expecting them to be more alike. But because a girl is perfect.
It evens out.
Yes. So you guys stay tuned. Yes, Dakia was just got engaged. Like I said, we have Camille and Cornelius are coming to an event along with Simone and Rashid, which is they're like the super couple. Everybody loves them. They're so cute. Danny Jones says you do not look like a granny. And you absolutely do not. That's gotta be the best. But you're not. You don't look like it. And that's got to be the best part about being a grandmother when you can still enjoy, you can still enjoy the show.
I tell people all the time it was not something I would have ever expected.
Yeah.
But when I tell you God gives you grace when you need it, He is the apple of my eye. He came in my life right on time. I had just got out of my relationship at like a place of not even rock bottom, like I said about the relationship, just like me. Like, let me get me together because what the hell going on? And so He came at the right time.
Nice.
The perfect situation, the absolute perfect situation for me. And like I said, I know what I didn't want, but God knew what I needed. And that was my grandbaby.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. And I think that He also knows when it's time for love. And I'm sure it's coming for you soon. All you got to do is believe it and
absolutely. You put it out there and you wholeheartedly believe it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come.
That's what it happens. Absolutely. So you are ready to love. We can't wait to hear. Definitely hit me up when you come to Atlanta.
I will, for sure.
I'll be waiting to hear the rest of that scoop. So
yes. I'll be there.
Dominika called it.
I called it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for having me. Thank you to all of the fans. I don't even know how I feel saying about fans because I don't know, but you guys have been amazing. You guys have had my back. I appreciate everything that you guys have said to me, and stay tuned because I am ready to love.
All right. Well, that is a beautiful note to end on. Thank you so much, Dominika.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Make sure that you definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you share this great conversation from Dominika. Who do y'all think that couple is that she's talking about? I do not know. It's not Brandy and Mike. I've made a couple of predictions. Not sure if those are going to last because like I said, you guys know Ready to Love has a bunch of twists and turns. So I thought anyway, I don't know. Zoe and I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll tune in on Friday. Friday nights on OWN and 8, 9 Central. I think 8 is it 8, 9, 8 Central or something like that. You guys know when Ready to Love airs. Let's tune in, watch it, and then we'll talk about it next week as always. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed and productive week, everybody. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.